So, here we are, 20 years later, and I'm about to quit football. Or am I? For the first time in my life, I'm letting go of the dream I've chased since I was 10 years old. Anyone who knows me knows that for almost my entire life, I've had only one thing in front of me, a career in football. A relentless drive in pursuing my football goals that has taken me across new cities, even countries where I've met numerous incredible people, players and coaches. Eventually that drive led me to the elite level of the game, where I continued my pursuit to try to go higher and higher. However, during the last years, I started taking that drive and my why for granted. Somewhere I felt that, obviously this is what I should keep on doing, because it's all I've ever done, without ever questioning whether the reasons and the motivations behind that why could ever change. More and more I started to feel like I had to put in the work, instead of the work being a completely natural part of my life and my identity like it used to be. Lately I've started to realize and ultimately accept that I have been holding on to dreams of the past, to the dreams I had as a 10-year-old Oskar, instead of recognizing where I'm at right now in my life. All because of a fear of losing myself, a fear of not living up to the expectation of others, and a fear that I was maybe losing the qualities that carried me forward throughout my entire life and career. Now I've decided that it's finally time to switch things up, to let go of those old goals I set several years ago and instead create new ones. Goals that align with the person I am today, and even more importantly, goals that bring out the qualities and hunger within me that keeps taking me forward in my life and career. This new objective is called the Superhuman Initiative, which is an idea where I strive to become the best possible athlete that I can become. I will do so primarily by chasing goals within running and within track and field, where my big goal and challenge is to qualify for a spot in the 2026 Swedish National Championships in the 800-meter event. I'm starting with 0 track and field experience and with only 13 months to complete the challenge. I may succeed and I may not, but I'm still delusional enough to give it a go. And give it a go, I definitely will. I also want to emphasize, this is not a goodbye to football. It's a see you later. Football will still be a part of my life and my weekly routine. It will just not be the top priority right now. I know that it's not the end, because every time I step out on the pitch and touch the ball, I still smile like back when I was a kid. I just need time away to evaluate what my next move will be, and when the time is right and when the motivation comes from a place of curiosity and excitement, I'll promise I'll lace up the boots once again and step back out on that pitch. For now though, I'll follow a new path, the hybrid path. So, have I quit football? Well, not really. And that's why I wanted to make this video, to be more clear in my communication of the decision that I've actually taken and what that means for my future and my career, but also for the future of this channel, because I think I owe you full honesty and full transparency of what's going on at all times. And there have definitely been a few questions that have been sent to me regarding my future, and I thought I wanted to clarify that within this video. But I want to start with the why of this decision, because that is maybe what most people don't understand. So, you got my whole backstory. Most of you probably know it already. I started playing football at 7 years old. At 10 years old, I decided that I wanted to pursue a professional career, and then I dedicated my entire life around that, getting better, researching, training by myself, and I've already made plenty of videos where I talk about my career, so that's not the goal of this video. The goal is to describe my thought process of where I am at right now in my life and career. And to make it short, I think that for the last couple of years, probably last 2 years, I started to feel a lack of motivation. A lack of motivation to go to training, a lack of motivation to play games, everything football. I didn't feel that same hunger and desire that I used to feel. And I thought that this was probably just a temporary thing. There have been periods like this before in my career and phases where I have struggled with low confidence and with low motivation, but I've eventually battled through those tough moments and got on the other side a stronger player and a stronger person. But there was something different this time. And the thing that have scared me the most was that I felt that I started to lose the quality that I take so much pride in, which is my hard work and my dedication, doing my own individual training, going to the gym, doing all those kinds of things. And when we got to February and March of this year, I kind of stopped training completely. And the weeks just passed by and I didn't feel like a need to go train. And this is like the biggest fear that I have regarding myself, because I don't want to be that person. I'm proud of the person that I have been, that have taken me to the place where I am today. And I started to feel like I started to lose those qualities. So I had to do something. I had to find out what it was that made me go into this state and this phase of low motivation. And this process probably took a couple of months, but what I eventually understood was that the goal that I set when I was 10 years old to become a professional footballer, that goal didn't motivate it as much now when I'm 25 as it did back when I was 10 years old. And that is probably something that is completely natural. I think these things happen to everyone at different stages of your life, maybe not at 25, but at 20 or at 30, I don't know. But inevitably, I think your perspective on life and your perspective on your goals, they will change. And I think that's what they did for me, but I didn't completely understand it. And because I had been so used to chasing the same goal since I was 10, I didn't look any other direction, then I think that was what made it so hard for me to see this. So the thing I figured out in the end was actually when I watched a video by one of my favorite creators on the platform. He's not a YouTuber, he's more of a filmmaker type YouTuber. But what he said was something along the lines of, the goals you set now have to align with the person that you are today. And when I heard that quote, it was like a light bulb switch on within my head. And I just understood that, okay, that goal that I set back then, that is something that I have to leave behind now. That was what took me to where I am now, but now I have to set new goals to progress forward in my life and become motivated and find those qualities again that I take so much pride in. And during this period, I also felt a bit ashamed towards you guys, because I always preach hard work. I say all these types of different things that you should do in your own careers, but I wasn't doing them myself now at the start of this year. And that made me feel like a fraud, or whatever you want to call it. And I didn't want to be like this. I want to set an example to you guys with the way that I'm working. And when I wasn't motivated to work, it was very hard to force myself to do things that I didn't want to do just to show an example. So in the end, what I did was that I came up with a new goal, and that goal is, as you probably have heard by now, the Superhuman Initiative. And this is a goal that truly excites me for where I am at right now in my career. It isn't football related, it isn't optimized to make me the best possible footballer. I will of course become a better athlete. My endurance will go through the roof compared to if I would just have gone on playing football. I will definitely lose certain football qualities within this period, but I'm also very adamant on stating that this is not the end of my football career. And I want you to truly understand that, because I don't want to go out like this. Because football is such a huge part of me, and I don't want to quit like that. I want to do this now when I feel that this is what motivates me, and I'm sure that when the time is right, and I'm pretty sure that I will feel that, I will make my comeback onto that football pitch. And that also means that within this time period, I will train football. I will make football videos on this channel. You don't have to worry about that. I will train football perhaps 2 or 3 times a week. While the focus is on running primarily, football will always be there and it will always be a part of my training and who I am and all of this channel, and yeah. So I just wanted to, clarify that, because there have been a few misinterpretations and some people thought that I have quit football, which if you want to look at it that way, well, I have for now, but I haven't quit football forever. I will be back, and you can be sure of that. And what about Project Reborn? Is Project Reborn over? Well, no. Well, the goal I said with Project Reborn was the goal that I said when I was 10, to become a professional footballer once again. But one of the major goals of Project Reborn was to be reborn as a footballer and as a person. And I think this is perfectly in line with what Project Reborn is, that you go through a new period, a new phase, Project Reborn, and you start to see things about yourself, you start to learn things about yourself, and I think this would never have been possible if I didn't go through Project Reborn. So Project Reborn will still continue. Project Reborn is my story and the story I'm telling. The Superhuman Initiative is part of the bigger Project Reborn. You could say that Project Reborn is the book and the Superhuman Initiative is a chapter within that book. So I wanted to clarify that as well, because there have been a few questions going around if Project Reborn is over and what the difference is between the two. And I also wanted to address what the hybrid path is and what a hybrid footballer is, because that is what I'm seeing myself as right now. I'm still a footballer, but I'm a footballer that pursues other things outside of football. I won't let go of that footballer identity, because I will always see myself as a footballer, but I'm a footballer that is chasing goals within track and field. I hope this video brought better clarity to my decision and that you understand the why behind this decision, but also that football is not gone. It will still be a massive part of my life. It will be a part of the videos. This channel will still always be about football first, so don't worry about that. But yeah, that's it for this time. Take care and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.